Good afternoon, students. So, we were discussing about control statements chapter, but before we move to the next topics of control statements, so today we will discuss about a little bit of algorithms and flowcharts concept. Okay, because in control statements, in every topic, we come across the flowchart concept. Okay, so I'll tell you where and how it is. Okay, we come across the flowchart concept. So before we go to the flowchart concept, if you know about the algorithm concept, so then we can understand flowchart concept very easily. Okay. So when we look at the control statements chapter, so we get a question in this way, that is explain, for example, if statement. Okay. So with syntax and example. So in this way, we get a question. So for everything, if else, nested if, if ladder switch statement and looping statements. So if we get this type of question, so you have to answer in such a way that you have to write the syntax. Okay. So after writing syntax, you have to explain about the syntax. Okay. And there is a general form of flowchart for every concept. Okay. So you have to write the flowchart. So afterwards, you should write the example. So these type of questions you may expect for 5 marks. Okay. Control statements chapter. So for every concept, so this is the procedure, this is the format we can say. So you write the syntax, okay, then explain about that syntax, how it works. So you write the general form of flowchart, then you can go for an example. So in this way we can answer the question. Okay. So here there is a concept called flowchart. Okay. So we'll discuss about the flowchart. So before we go to the flowchart, so let us try to understand what is an algorithm and how to write an algorithm. Then we will move to the flowchart. Because see, when we write the flowchart, we will write the flowchart based on the algorithm. When I tell the definitions, will come to know. Okay, we will discuss. Okay. So the term algorithm refers to step-by-step procedure to solve any given problem. Okay. Something I will tell you. Step-by-step procedure to solve any given problem. Okay. Or we can say algorithm is defined as the step-by-step solution of a given problem. So you should not say like algorithm is defined as the step-by-step of a problem. It is not of the problem, it is the solution of the problem. So we are finding out the solution for a given problem, and how we will find that solution, that depends on us. That is either by using algorithm or by flowchart or by program. Okay. So in first PUC we have the chapter called problem solving techniques. Okay. Problem solving techniques. In this chapter, so in detail I will not tell now, just in brief I will tell, because if we understand this one, we can move to algorithm and flowchart. See, here everything is linked. See, if you just understand the basic concepts of problem solving techniques, then we can move to algorithm and flowchart. If you understand the flowchart, then in control statements, wherever I write the flowchart, you can understand it. Okay, so in this way it is linked. So in problem solving techniques, when I say problem solving technique, so technique means what? How we solve the problem, right? See, for example, if I tell problem in the sense, it is not like question. Just we can say one task. Okay. If we consider like we have to travel to Bangalore, that is one task. Your task is nothing but we can say it is a problem. Problem means it should not be like mathematics problem only. We can say it is one task. Okay. If I say we have to travel to Bangalore or we have to travel to say some city like Chennai and all, many ways are there. By bus we can go, by train we can go, by our own vehicle we can go. In that way, it's in our hand. Okay. Similarly, when I say problem solving, So how we can solve? By using what method we can solve? That is nothing but problem solving techniques. In problem solving techniques, we have 7 stages. Okay. First stage is definition. Definition in the sense, first you should know what is the exact problem. Sometimes you might have say like, especially in mathematics question paper, question is wrong. So if the question itself is wrong, then you cannot solve the problem. Sometimes it happens. When you write the exam, sometimes it happens. If the question itself is wrong, you cannot solve the problem. Question is nothing but definition. You can say question is nothing but a definition. First you have to understand the correct question. Sometimes question will be correct. When we try to understand the question, we may understand wrongly. In that case also, problem will go wrong. When you solve the problem, it will go wrong. So that is the next thing. That is, question will be correct. When we understand, when we define that question, we may go wrong in understanding that question. So there also, after solving the problem, it may go wrong. We can get wrong result. So first, we should know what is the definition of the problem. Problem in the sense, task. What is the definition of the task? Next, second thing, analysis. Okay. Analysis in the sense, here we should come to know what is the requirement of the problem and how to solve the problem, like calculation or by writing logic, or if there is any direct formula to solve that problem in that way. Okay, and then output, what result you should get. So this is the requirement. Requirement is nothing but input. Okay, output is nothing but final result. We should come to know what is the requirement of the problem, that is the input, and what we have to do, whether we have to calculate or write some logic, or is there any direct formula in that. Then last thing is output. We should come to know what result we are expecting out of that problem solution. Okay. Third one. Okay. Third one, design. Design the solution of the problem. Design the solution of the problem. So here we have two things. One is algorithm. Okay. Next thing is flowchart. Okay, so we have come at the third stage. Okay, definition, analysis, design. Now we will stop at third point. Still there are 4 points. If I tell everything, it may be a confusion for you. So we can stop at third stage. That is writing the algorithm or a flowchart. Design the solution of the problem by writing the algorithm or a flowchart. Or we can say by writing both algorithm and flowchart. Okay, so we will go for the algorithm concept. So algorithm is nothing but a step-by-step procedure to solve any given problem, or we can say step-by-step procedure of the solution to a given problem. We write in English language only. So here we will not use any coding concept here. So just in English only we will write. Whenever we write a program, if I want to write the algorithm also, we can write it. Okay, we will understand in English language only. See, sometimes we will tell step 1 follow this, step 2 should do this, step 3 this method you have to follow. Those are nothing but algorithms actually. Generally, even apart from this programming concept also, whenever you come across any task, you might have say like step 1 do this, step 2 you can do this, like that. This is nothing but algorithm only. We don't know that is algorithm, but we follow that. Similarly, here also step-by-step procedure of a solution to a given problem is algorithm. So now study in detail of this. Okay. When I say step-by-step procedure of a given problem, so first step always it will be start. We have to first start this step, start an algorithm. Okay. Then second step, listen here, it is input. So input is nothing but we can say requirement. What is required to solve this problem? What is required to solve this problem? That is nothing but the input. Okay. Third, if we have the formulas to calculate or compute, okay, or whether we have to write some logic. Logic in the sense like if I write say 20 greater than 10, these are all logic conditions we write. Okay, those are all logic. Okay, calculate or compute or write some logic. This is the third step. Fourth step is to display. Okay, that is nothing but output. So here we display the result. When we solve the problem, we will get a result that we will display. Last step is stop. See, in every algorithm, start and stop will be one step only. Remember this, start and stop will be one step, starting and ending. But in between input statements, input steps can be many, calculation steps can be many, that is writing the logic, and display statements can be many. So only we cannot say algorithm is only 5 steps. Depending on the problem, it may increase, number of steps may increase. But these are the general steps I can say. Input step, calculation logic, display. So input steps can increase, that is it can be 2 or 3 or even 5 like that. Calculations or logic steps also will increase and display steps also increase. Start and stop will be one step. Okay, so this is what we can call algorithm, step by step process to solve any given problem. Okay, now let us try to write one example for this. Okay, see, for example, if I tell like calculate the area of a circle. Okay, calculate the area of a circle. This one how. So by using algorithm, how we can write this? This step one is start. Okay. Okay. Now you should analyze what is the requirement, that is input to calculate the area of a circle. See, in general in mathematics also, if we want to calculate the area of a circle, what are the things required that we should know? Okay, in mathematics also, if you want to calculate the area of a circle, what things we require that we should know? Okay, so that is, see, first thing we should know what is the formula. It is pi r square. Okay, a equal to pi r square, that is the formula. So once we know the formula, then in that formula you see whatever I have written on the left hand side. Okay, that is nothing but the end result, that is area. So a refers to area here. Okay, whatever I have written left hand side of equal to, that refers to the result, end result, what we are expecting from this problem. Okay, and what are the things I am writing on the right hand side, this we will calculate. Okay, pi r square we will calculate. Okay, so we came to know the result, that is the output, and we came to know what to calculate. Again, any calculation step, that is pi r square, you see there is a letter R, so it indicates radius. In area of a circle, it indicates radius. Okay. Now, see, second step we should know what is required. See, generally in circle, what is the most important thing in required? People, everybody will know that is nothing but radius. If radius is there, you can calculate the area of a circle, circumference of a circle, diameter of a circle in that way. So radius is must for a circle. So that we can call it as requirement. So for a circle, radius is requirement. This becomes our input. We got it. For a circle, radius is important. Without radius, we cannot say circle is there. That we can say that is point circle. Okay, that we are not discussing here. In mathematics, we have point circle, that we are not discussing. There we have radius. This becomes the input. Okay. Now we can write second step as input. Okay. R indicates here radius. Okay. R indicates radius. Next, step 3. So you follow the general method. So in general method, what is the step 3? It is calculation. So wherever we have the direct formulas, we can use that formula. If we don't have direct formulas, we have to write our own logic. Okay. So here we have the formula. What is that formula? A is equals to pi r square. You can write A is equals to pi r square. So this is the calculation. Next, step 4. So what is the step 4 in general algorithm? It is the display, that is output. So now you tell me in A equal to pi r square, what we should display? Either A or R, because A indicates area, R indicates radius. What is the question? Calculate the area of a circle. So when we calculate the area of a circle, we need to display area, not the radius. So if by mistake if you display radius, that is also correct. But if you don't display area, that is wrong. Understood? If you display radius, that is also correct. But if you don't display area, that is wrong. This is compulsory, first thing in the output. Okay. We should display area. Okay, so if you can square bracket, you can say A refers to area. I think in one of the class I said, whenever you use variables, you can use all capital letters and small letters of English language. So here I am using R and A. So R indicates radius, okay, and A indicates area. And the last step is slope. I hope people got this. Once again, I will explain. Whenever we write the algorithm for any given problem, first you see whether there is a formula for that problem. If there is a formula, then it will be in this format, LHS equals to RHS, right? So whatever it is there in the LHS part, that is before equals to, that we can say what we are calculating. Here A refers to area. Area we are calculating. And whatever it is present on the right hand side, in that right hand side, you see what is the requirement. So here requirement is R. R indicates radius. For any circle, radius is requirement, right? So here R indicates radius, that you can take it as input. Don't take area as an input, because area we are calculating. Whatever we are calculating, you should not take it as an input. Whatever it is already present in the circle, that is in the problem, that you have to take it as input. In mathematics, sometimes you come up with the question, given some variables, then prove that. So you might have observed these questions. So given is nothing but input. So your given is nothing but radius. Radius, you have to take it as an input. And for calculation, you use the formula A equal to pi r square. And what we need to display, whatever we have calculated, that we need to display. So area we have calculated, we will display the area. If by mistake if you say A comma R, that is also correct. If you display radius, it is not wrong. But if you are displaying only radius, that is wrong. Because if you display a radius, what actually the question is calculate the area of a circle. And once you have calculated that, you should display first. Okay. So A is compulsory. That is displaying area is compulsory. In addition to this, if you display R, that is correct. And if you don't display R, that is also correct. Because only A you can display. But without displaying A, if you display only R, that is wrong. Remember this. Okay, display area. Okay, this is about one example. Okay. Now we'll move to the flowchart. Okay. So flowchart means it is a graphical representation of a solution to a given problem. So this is the definition. Graphical representation of a solution to a given problem, or we can say graphical representation of an algorithm. Because when we write the algorithm, we will come to know what are the steps required. What are the steps required to solve the given problem. Step by step, we will write an algorithm. So after writing an algorithm, by looking at the algorithm, we can write the flowchart. So we can say graphical representation of a solution to a given problem, or graphical representation of an algorithm, because algorithm is one solution, one type of solution. Okay. Now we will see the flowchart. So before I write the flowchart for this example, first we will see what are the symbols we get in flowchart. Okay, because flowchart means graphical representation. So graphical representation means we have to write by using symbols. So when we write by using symbols, we should come to know what symbols we will come across in flowchart. Okay. See, oval shaped symbol, this is used for start and stop. Remember. Okay. Oval shaped symbol, it is used for start and stop, because in algorithm first step is start, last step is stop. Okay. Then parallelogram. Okay. So this symbol is used for, okay, input and output. Right. So for start and stop, oval symbol. For that is parallelogram for input and output. Okay. Then rectangle symbol. Okay. This is used for calculation. Okay. Or we can say compute. And here only you should not say we are using for logic, because for logic some symbols are there. I will tell you. Okay. So start, stop, input and output, calculation. And when we come across any logical things, see, whenever we say logical expression, logical things, we expect the result will be either true or false. The result of a logic is true or false. Logical expression, relational expressions. So whenever I say true or false result, this is nothing but we are applying for condition. See, in condition only we can expect true and false results. Okay, like if I say 20 greater than 10, so here this is like a condition. Is 20 greater than 10? Yes or no? So if you tell yes, it is true. If you tell no, it is false. So for these type of conditions only, the results will be true or false. For writing the condition, we have one symbol. Okay. So that symbol is, I think I have already said when we have discussed if else statement. That symbol is nothing but, we can say either diamond symbol or rhombus symbol. So use it for conditions. Whenever we write the condition, you can use this symbol. Okay. Some more symbols are there, but what are the symbols required for control statements, that I will tell you. Okay. Next, we have these arrow marks, left, right, top, bottom, and all. These arrow marks are there. This indicates flow of control, program control, flow of program control. So we have discussed a lot about the topic program control, right? See, when you go to the algorithm, step numbers itself indicates the flow of program control. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, right? Okay, when we go to the flowchart, here we will not write step 1, 2, 3, and 4, but we will write the symbols, and for every symbol there will be connection. For every symbol there will be connection, and these connections, that is flow arrow marks itself indicates flow of program control. To try to understand here, in algorithm, this step numbers itself indicates the flow of program control. In flowchart, these arrow marks indicates the flow of program control. Okay. I hope people got about this. Once again, I will tell you, this oval symbol indicates start and stop, and parallelogram indicates input and output. Okay. Calculation. For calculation, we use the symbol rectangle, and rhombus symbol, that is, you can say diamond symbol, it is used for condition, and these arrow marks are used for flow of program control. Okay. So still there are some symbols which will come across in functions chapter and all. Okay, but what are the symbols required for control statements, that we will discuss here. Okay. Now this algorithm we can write in a flowchart format, so that we will discuss how to write. Okay. See, when we write a program, that is, when we solve the problem by using computers, we have to write the code. Code is nothing but program. Program is nothing but software. We have to develop the software. Before we write the program, if we write algorithm and flowchart, then writing a program will be easy. Actually, that is the method what we should follow. Write algorithm, then write the flowchart, then we can go for the program. If you are very much perfect in writing a program, if you are experts, then you can directly go for the programs. Okay. And one more thing, when you are writing algorithm and flowchart, it is not a rule that you have to write first algorithm, then flowchart, or first flowchart, then algorithm. So whichever it is comfortable for you, you can write it. But if you follow the method, first writing an algorithm, then if you go for the flowchart, it will be very easy. So I'll tell you how it is. See, here 5 steps are there. Same steps will appear in the flowchart. Same steps, nothing changed. Wording is also same. Only thing is we have to write these things in symbol, and we have to connect all these symbols. Okay. See, look here. What is the step 1 here in algorithm? It is the start. So we have to use the symbol, that is oval symbol. So this is start. So for start and stop, same symbol. So this is the start. Then step 2 is input. Input R indicates here radius. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to use the parallelogram symbol. Okay. So this symbol we have to use for input, and we have to connect from start to stop. Okay, so only here I am not writing step 1 start, step 2 input. Okay, as I said, in algorithm, step numbers indicates flow of program control. In flowchart, this arrow mark indicates flow of program control. Okay, so read. See, for input you can use one more word, read. Okay, read, input, scan. These 3 words meanings are same. Right here. So read, okay, input or scan. So three words means the same. Then what is the step 3 here? A is equals to pi r square, calculation. So for calculation, you can use the symbol rectangle. Okay, see this is the parallelogram symbol. Don't get confusion here. Okay, how you people know what is parallelogram and all? Parallelogram, rectangle and all. In mathematics, you people can know. So A is equals to pi r square. Okay, this is for calculation. Okay, next. And what is the next step in the algorithm? It is to display. Okay, so to display, use the symbol again, same. Whatever the symbol we have used for input, same symbol we will use for display. Okay, so that is parallelogram. Display A, or you can say output A, anything. Output, display, print. Three words you can use. Deliver. So you can use either this word output, or you can say print, or you can say display. Okay. You just remember the words will come so that you can use any word. Okay. For input, you can say read, input, and scan. For output, you can say output, print, or display. Okay. So whenever you come across these three words, so it is same. Okay. And then the last step is stop. Okay. So once I'll explain. So when we write the algorithm, we can write the flowchart very easily by looking at the steps. Only thing is, in the symbols, you don't write step 1, start, step 2, input. So in the symbol, you directly write these things. Whatever we have written, directly you can write these things. In algorithm, step number 6 itself indicates the flow of program control. In flowchart, this arrow mark indicates the flow of program control. So according to this example, start, read R is nothing but radius, A equal to pi r square, this is the calculation. Once we calculate, we have to display A is nothing but the area. So in bracket you can write area. Okay. And always you do this one. See, whenever you write the variables, okay, variable you write it as a small thing, that is like R, A, just you write the letters. Within the bracket you mention what is the meaning of that. Because here R means you will not know what it is. You just mention it is the radius. And here A indicates the area. Okay. So at any one step if you mention, it's okay. Here also you can mention, or here also you can mention. Better you mention here, because here we are writing it as a formula. In display statement you mention A is nothing but the area. Okay. So this is about flowchart form. And when we go to the control statements chapter, okay. So I hope people are remembering about if and if else concept. So in case of if statement, or we can say simple if statement, see the syntax is if condition statement and next statement. See, you try to understand this next statement concept, because if I don't write next statement, if the condition is false, what happens? There will get a confusion. Okay. So if the condition is true, both are executed. Okay. If the condition is false, directly move to the next statement. Okay. Now for this, we need to write the general form of flowchart. General form I'm telling, not the example. The general form of flowchart is, see, look here. So arrow mark. This indicates program control. So for this, you need not write start and stop. Okay. Start and stop you can avoid. Just you write arrow mark. See, for condition, you see the symbol. So for conditions, we use this symbol, right? So this symbol I have to mention. Okay, if condition. Okay. Then statement is there. See, as we have discussed, you don't follow the same path, because whenever the condition is true or false, you have to change the direction. So, okay. Condition is true. You can use this rectangle symbol for writing the statement. Okay. Then, so this is false. you can say there is a next statement. If you don't write next statement also, it's correct. You need not worry about that. But from here into here is required. Okay. We don't write next statement, that is also correct. But from condition to this arrow mark, it is required. You have to mention it here. Okay. So this is for if statement. So you try to understand this concept. Condition you write in one direction, you write the true. T indicates true. In another direction, you write F. F indicates false. True means it is executed, and again it will follow the same path. Okay. This is for if statement. And for if else. So just will write the flowchart for if else and I will stop the class. Okay. So this is the syntax. If condition. Okay. So statement 1 else statement 2. Okay. So here we know the concept, that is if it is true, statement 1 is executed. If it is false, statement 2 is executed. Right? So now for this we will write the flowchart. See, for condition here the same symbol. Okay. If condition, okay. See, here we have two cases, true and false. For true you follow one path, and for false you follow another path. Understood? For true you follow one path, for false you follow another path. This is nothing but change of program control. Okay. And for true you write statement 1. Okay. For false you write statement 2. And after that, say how to follow the original path. In flowchart, arrow mark indicates program control. In program, you press F7 key, will come to know. So after altering the program control, afterwards it will follow the same path till the end of the program. And wherever it is, if there is a condition, it will again change the path. Okay. So only have to connect these two, and you should say it is following the original path. Okay. Remaining concepts of control statements we will discuss in the next class.